Can you look at your neighbor and ask them what's coming out of your mouth? That's what I want to talk about today. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. What's coming out of your mouth? I've been a little perplexed. I've been meditating on the word because I'm supposed to be in a series. Deacon Joe, I'm supposed to be in my series called The Lifestyle of the Saved and Sanctified. And as I was meditating on God's word and meditating on the Lord said, you are in your series. And I said, Lord, I'm not in my series. He said, yes, you are. I just took you through the back door. Wow. I said, okay, Lord, because I had the series how it was planned out. But he said, you are in your series because, first of all, you got to realize that one of the main characteristics of the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified is that there's always something in their hand. Let me say it again. One of the main characteristics of the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified is that there is always something in their hands. Saved, being born again, means I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Sanctified means I have been set apart for sacred work. I'm set apart like your grandma used to do in the living room when she put the plastic over the furniture and told you couldn't go in there. It was sanctified furniture. That means it was set apart for a certain use and you better not touch it. And that's why the plastic was over it, because if you mess it up, she was going to mess you up. It was sanctified. Oh yeah, sanctified furniture. So sanctified just means set apart. Set apart, set apart. So God said, when the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified, there's always something in your hand. Last week I asked you, what's in your hand? When you're saved and sanctified, there's always something in your hand. We need to recognize that. There's always something in your hand. The next characteristic of another characteristic of the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified is that we live according to what comes out of our mouth. Listen to again. We live according to what comes out of our mouth. Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they who indulge in it shall eat the fruits of it, for death or life. That's the Amplified Bible. In death or life, the power of death or life is in your tongue. So what comes out of your mouth is determined how you live. I'm going to say this and you ain't going to like it. I don't care. But you are where you are according to what has been coming out of your mouth. You are where you are because of what has been coming out of your mouth. If you don't like where you are, change what's coming out of your mouth. Oh, God. Yeah. If you don't like where you are, change what's coming out of your mouth. So dealing with this, I got 4 points, and I'm going to be out. I got 4 points, and I'm going to be out here. Because first thing we got to recognize that we are dealing with the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified. That's why you got to know what's in your hands. That's why you got to know what's coming out of your mouth. But what's coming out of your mouth must be in agreement with what's in your hand. That's point number one. What's coming out of your mouth must be in agreement with what's in your hand. Whatever God has put in your hand, what's coming out of your mouth must agree with it. Yes. If it's going to do what God told it to do. Yes. If it's going to do what God told it to do, you got to be in agreement with your mouth. The words that come out of your mouth must be in agreement with what's in your hand. And if God put ministry in your hand, what's coming out your mouth can't talk against what the ministry he put in your hand. It got to be in agreement. If God puts something in your hand, your mouth got to confirm, got to agree what he puts in your hand, or else it's not going to work. So when we go back to the story about the people that had the person that had 5 talents, the person who had 2 talents, and the person who had 1 talent, the man who had 1 talent did a hole and put his talent in there and said, I was afraid. So what was coming out of his mouth was not agreeing with what was in his hand. Because the only way that what's coming out of your mouth agrees with what's in your hand, that means something is happening to what's in your hand. You can't hide your gift, and then your agreement out of your mouth is agreement with what's in your hand. Because you're saying, even without words, you're saying, I don't know what to do with this. I can't do anything with this, so I'm going to bury it. You're not in agreement with what's in your hand. Because last week I told you, God would never put it in your hand if he didn't believe you could do something with it. That's why the master was so angry with the man who only had one talent, because he knew he could do something with the talent and he didn't. So God, since the lifestyle of rich and famous means there's always something, the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified. Yeah, we're going to get to the lifestyle rich and famous real soon. But the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified means that what's coming out of my mouth is in agreement with what's in my hand. I taught you last week how to identify what's in your hand. Now your words that come out of your mouth, which will defy you or define you. Catch that again. Your words will either defile you or define you. So which one is it doing in your life? Yeah, we ain't get no amens on that one. Which one are you doing in your life? Is it defiling you or is it defining you? There's always something in your hand. In your mouth, what comes out of your mouth must be in agreement with what is in your hand. So to build upon that, my second point piggybacks off my first point. Because what comes out of your mouth can kill what's in your hand. That's why it got to be in agreement. If it's not in agreement with what's in your hand, your words out your mouth, which either defines you or defiles you, can kill what's in your hand. I can't sing and you're anointed to sing. You kill what's in your hand. Come on. Ain't nothing for me to do at L.L.W.C. You just kill what's in your hand. I need to leave right now. You just killed what's in your hand. Why you got quiet on that one? I got amens off everything else, Joe. But ain't no amens off that. Y'all don't mess with me today because I've been in man cave. I'm like Martin Luther King. I've been on the mountain. I looked over the mountaintop. Don't mess with me today. No, God has already told you something. What's in your hand? And what's coming out your mouth will kill what's in your hand. And then you wonder why ain't nothing prosper in your hand. Because you got wrong words coming out your mouth. Because what comes out of your mouth is what can either defile you or define you. And you got something in your hands and you killing it with your mouth. It kind of reminds me of that song, Killing Me Softly. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going there. What's coming out of your mouth defines you or defiles you. It can kill what's in your hand. That's why what's in your hand must be in agreement. What's coming out of your mouth must be agreement with what's in your hand. It's a bad thing when God gives you something and you kill it. It's a bad thing. It's sort of like, everybody I think just about got a plant that died. Somebody gave you a plant and they trusted you with it. How's my plant doing? It died. It died. What comes out of your mouth can kill what's in your hand. So my first point, my second point defines my first point. And my second point is going to help me define my third point. Because my third point is this. What comes out of your mouth is the water, the fertilizer, the spiritual food to what's in your hand. It feeds what's in your hand. That's why that's why your words must be in agreement with what's in your hand. Because if it's not, it'll kill what's in your hand. Because if you kill what's in your hand, that means you're not feeding it, fertilizing it, or spiritually giving it the food it needs. So what comes out of your mouth is what causes what's in your hand to grow. A plant will not grow without sunlight, without soil, and without water. And your words are the thing that fertilizes, cultivates, nurtures the seed that God puts in your hand. So in other words, what if ain't nothing coming out my mouth? Ain't nothing growing in your hand? Oh, God, I'll give you that one free. If nothing is coming out your mouth, some people think if I don't say nothing, if you don't say nothing, you still dying. If you don't say nothing, you're still dying. Why? Because everybody's saying something around you. And the devil is talking. And the only way you counteract what has been said, you tell the true story. Somebody lie on you. Well, I heard, well, this is the true story. So you counteract what has been said. The devil said you won't make it. The devil said what's in your hand won't prosper. The devil said you'll never go to the next level. You'll never be prosperous. You'll never have your own business. You'll never get your degree. You'll never have a good relationship. You'll never marry again. You won't have any children. The devil said all that. But God said that's a lie from the pit of hell. Everything I touch grows, and you got to speak what God speaks. If you say nothing, that means the lie that the devil has told is still on the table. Now, if I were playing spades, the only thing that beats one spade on the table is a bigger spade. The devil got a spade on the table, and you scared to hit him with. Oh God, y'all ain't talking to me today. Darrell, I'm preaching better than they're saying amen right now. You gotta have something. You got something in your hand. You got the biggest spade. You got the big joker. You got the ace of spades. You got the deuce. And you let the devil go by with a 3 of spades. You gonna cut me with a 3? And so every time you don't say nothing, you are leaving the devil on the table with a lie, and you got the bigger hand. What's coming out of your mouth? What comes out of your mouth? It waters, it fertilizes. It's the spiritual food that feeds what's in your hand. I got to ask you a question. God dropped this on me. I ain't dropped this on y'all. God dropped this on me. Are you poisoning what's in your hand? Are you poisoning what's in your hand? Are you poisoning what's in your hand? We bought a betta fish for Olivia when she was growing up. We bought a betta fish because my brother-in-law told me that you can feed them as much as you want and they won't die. But they still die. It still died. I'm going to get cooler too because he spoke that thing. What's wrong with it? As soon as he got through talking, the fish died. What's coming out of your mouth? Anyway, so what are you feeding what's in your hand? Are you poisoning what's in your hand with what's coming out of your mouth? If you don't know what to say, just say what God said. If you don't know what to say, say what God says. Now, the problem with that with most people is they don't know what God is saying. And the reason why you don't know what God is saying because you ain't never opened up the book. I don't have to go to heaven and God, what did you say about that? I said the same thing I said 2,000 years ago. I got 66 books. Did you look in there? I'm going to say what God said. All I got to do is find out what he said. And it's so easier today with technology is that all I got to do is go to BibleGate.com, put in a word, and if it don't come up in the King James Version, change it to the New Living Translation, change it to the Amplified, change it to a different version. You'll find the word. Yes. You'll find the word. What's coming out of your mouth? Are you watering? Are you fertilizing? Are you giving spiritual food to what's in your hand? Can I hit point number 4 and I'll be out? Can I change it a little bit, hit point number 4 and I'll be out? I got this while my family was over there. I was enjoying family time with the grandkids and my son-in-laws and my daughters. And God hit me this. I was walking. I said, I got to hit my 4th point. I think it was in the kitchen. And I told First Lady, I got my 4th point now. And God said, don't let people put something in your mouth when they don't like what's in your hand. Oh, God. Don't let people fill your mouth with stuff because they don't like what's in your hand. They don't like what's in your hand, so they talking to you and you ain't talking, and you talking their talk, and it's killing what's in your hand. Everybody don't like what's in your hand. Oh, God. It came from God, but they don't like what's in your hand. It is there because it was designed for you, but they don't like what's in your hand. God said you are the only one who can work it, but they don't like what's in your hand. And you let other people put words in your mouth that don't like what's in your hand, and it's killing what's in your hand. is killing what's in your hand. I'm not going to let you talk for me. I'm going to talk for myself. If I'm going to kill it, son-in-law, if I'm going to kill it myself. If I'm going to mess it up, I'm going to mess it up myself. I'm going to take credit for myself. But I ain't going to let you kill what's in my hand because you don't like what's in my hand. If you got a problem with what's in my hand, go talk to God. Yes. See, nobody want to talk to God. They want to talk to you. But I didn't put this in my hand. It got quiet there. I didn't put this in my hand. I didn't put L.L.W.C in my hand. I didn't put the marriage retreat in my hand. I didn't put the youth retreat in my hand. I didn't put the man cave in my hand. I didn't put those in my hand. Matter of fact, I didn't even ask for it. And sometimes I'm trying to give it back. But he put it in my hand. And I just got to the point in my life that God, if you put it in my hand, I'm going to be responsible for what you put in my hand. I'm not going to let I can't say that on TV. I'm not going to let nobody talk about what's in my hand when it ain't in their hand. It's in my hand. And people will put stuff in your hand because they don't like what's in your hand. They jealous of what's in your hand. They envious of what's in your hand. And they want to put words in your mouth to kill what's in your hand. How many people have killed some stuff that was in your hand and you didn't realize they killed it? See, we got some people that's like the serpent in the garden. I'm going to talk about you today. Yes, I is. We got some people, I'm going to talk right on to YouTube. We got some people that are just like the devil in your life. They ain't big devils, they subtle devils. Let me wipe my head on that one. I'm going to get behind the sacred desk. They subtle devils. They speak sweet nothings that are poison in your system. They look good from the outside, but they got poison on the inside. If Eve had known that her talking to the serpent was going to kick her out of the garden, she wouldn't have had anything to do with that person. But she didn't know, because why? His words were so sweet. Everybody who's talking to you sweet, you need to check them. You need to check them. If they ain't put no ring on your finger, you need to check who's talking to you sweet. Why are you always trying to sweet talk me? There's something behind that sweetness that you don't want me to see. Because see, you make something sweet because you don't want them to notice the bitterness. That's why cough medicine has flavors, because cough medicine don't taste good. So you got cherry and you got grape because it's good for you, but it don't taste good. So I'm going to give you something sweet. Who's trying to feed you something sweet that don't got nothing good for you? They're trying to hide the poison. They're trying to hide the bitterness. They're trying to take you out. It looks good from the outside, but it makes you sick on the stomach. So you got subtle devils whose conversation sounds good. Some stuff makes sense, but it's not spiritual. Some stuff makes sense, but it's not from God. It made sense to Eve when the devil said, "Will thou surely die?" A play on words, because she died, but not a physical death. She died a spiritual death, which was more important, because when the spirit dies, the flesh is coming later. Because look at it, they were never going to taste death, but he made it seem like that they weren't going to die. They just didn't die immediately physically, but died immediately spiritually, and the physical death came later. And I'm like Elijah. I don't want to be nowhere, Lord, that your anointing is not there. Who is trying to poison you subtly? I don't got no enemies like that. Are you sure? Are you sure? You sure you don't got nobody speaking some things in your life that you ain't checked their words to make sure? See, every now and then some people say something and you don't think about it till later. You be like, why they say that? Hold up. Why they say that? See, you ain't catch it then, brothers. We don't catch it then. Women be catching it quick. Your wife be hitting you. And you be like, leave me alone, leave me alone. And you don't catch it till 2 days later. Why they say that? Because they're subtly trying to poison, oh God, what God has put in you. Because they don't like what's in your hand. They don't like what's in your hand. I don't got nobody like that. Well, I know one like that. His name is Satan. And if you're saved, he don't like you. And unfortunately, he got some people who he's master of. And because he's master of them, he get to use them, even if they don't know he's using them. And some of them are your friends. Some of them are your friends. And they're speaking what they heard their master, their daddy talk, just like we speak what we heard God talk. When I tell you you're blessed, I'm hearing it from God. And now they're hearing the same thing from the devil and trying to speak the wrong thing in your life. And now you talking what they're talking. What's coming out of your mouth? What's coming out of your mouth? Just because they broke don't mean I'm going to be broke. Just because your marriage jacked up don't mean my marriage is going to be jacked up. I don't care if every person in my family ended up in divorce. It don't mean I'm going to end up in divorce. I don't care if nobody in my family went to college. Doesn't mean I'm not going. I don't care if all of them never had a job, never had a nice house, never had a car, never owned anything. That's them. That don't mean it's going to happen to me. I stop that. See, a generational curse is just something you thinking, not something that can hit you. Because if you change the conversation, you stop the curse. Because the only reason it's a curse because you believe it. All of my people got divorced in my family, so what? That ain't me. I ain't going there. None of them went to school, and I got higher aspirations than that. None of them made any good money. They were always struggling. So what? That's not me. I'm not letting you put your badness on me. You're not going to speak that in my life. I got something in my hand. And some people are mad because what they had in their hand, they jacked up, and now they want to jack up what's in your hands. Because misery loves company. They messed up with God, so they want to see you messed up. See, some people are upset with you because you're doing the will of God. Some people are upset with you because you make them feel guilty because they're not doing the will of God. Here you are in church doing everything God told you to do, and somebody who's supposed to be close to you ain't supporting you at all. Ain't telling you keep doing that. Why? Because they know they're supposed to be doing something and they ain't doing it. Every time they talk to you, they feel guilty. So the only way they don't feel guilty, they got to cause you not to do what you want to do for the Lord. So they subtly sabotage what's in your hand. And before you know it, you just like them. Unhappy, mad, disgusted, and can't be trusted. You don't got to be broke and not be trusted. You can just be unfaithful what God gives you and you just can't be trusted. You can be rich and not be trusted. Can I ask you a question? Who's in your life you need to kick out your circle? This is the lifestyle of the saved and sanctified. Because there's not a whole lot of people who really want to see you do what God wants. Can I get even a little deeper? I know this is going to hit home, but I feel Dr. Vernon on me. Even in the church. I don't do this in my business meeting. I don't do this with my officers, but he advised me, every time you have a meeting, ask them who's going to betray you. Jesus. Because every time the 12 got together, Judas was there. Who's in your circle? You need to get out your circle. Because they're not adding anything to your circle. Who's in your circle? God says stop helping. That's not godly. Yes, it is. Because some people are never going to receive the revelation they need from God until you stop enabling them. You stop enabling them. And when you stop enabling them, then either they're going to live for God or they're not. You got to make a choice. Just because you were their enabler now, once upon a time, don't mean that you're still supposed to be their enabler now. Let me make it a little bit plainer to you. Just because you were the ones who they leaned on then, does not mean they're supposed to still be leaning on you now. Let me go a little and get that. Just because a baby is drinking milk now, doesn't mean he's still supposed to be drinking milk at 2 years old, out of the bottle. So you got some people who were in your life for a time being to be helped. But now they are not a help. You are not a help to them. They are leaks to you. Because they're draining everything out of you. Every now and then you got to cut people loose. Every now and then. Every one of my kids know I love them. Yeah, they know I love them. But I get to a certain point, and I say, just no. I ain't doing no more. You either going to get it together or we ain't happy. That's hard. You're right. But that's love. Can't say amen on that, right? Yeah, that's hard, but that's love. Because sometimes it takes me stop doing something for you to do something. And here it is. And we're in the last, I'm like Surgeon Caesar said, we're in the last quarter of the game. And God has put the ball in your hands. What you doing with the ball? What's coming out of your mouth? What's coming out of your mouth? Are you edifying what's in your hand, or are you killing it? And who's in your circle calling bad plays? You know the play ain't gonna work, but you're gonna still run it. You come in my huddle with a bad play, if you don't go somewhere with that ain't gonna work. Who's in your circle you still entertaining and calling bad plays? No, you can't do nothing with that. We ain't ran the ball all game, but you want to run the ball. We can do a quarterback sneak. Are you crazy? Who's in your circle that you need to cut off? And can I tell you something? This ain't a new alert for you. This is just a confirmation of what God has already been dealing with you about. Because you got some people in your life, I'm closing, that are influencing what comes out of your mouth. And because of that, it's hindering you going to the place God wants you to go. I can't stop you from talking, but I can correct you when you talk about me. I'm going to say it again. I can't stop you from talking, but I correct you when you talk about me. Because when you put all or put my name in it, that's what I'm going to hold up. I'm not in that circle. That's not who I am. I know who I am. You don't got to define me. God has already defined me. You don't got to tell me who I is. I already know who I is. You don't got to give me no name. I got 3. And that even not my nicknames. Y'all catch it next week. I don't need you. The stage that I'm in now, I'm helping others define who they are. So I'm not at this stage. And then some of your friends are not qualified to define you. Jesus, I hate when they get silent, Deacon Joy. But I'm going to look past today. Some of your friends are not qualified to define you. When people are defining me, I don't go side by side. I go up. People beside me or people below me can't define me. I'm helping define them. A brother who's on my same level is helping me maintain my level. But somebody who's above me can define me. You got people who are below you and you're letting them define you. Why? I go up when people are going to find me. I don't go side by side. I don't go down. I go side by side when I need encouragement to keep on doing what I'm doing. Because a brother who's side by side can encourage me. A person who's below me can't help me. I was designed to help them. But a person who's above me defies me. That's why daddies define children. Because you are above them and you're defining. Children don't define daddy. They just confirm I am who I am because I demonstrated it. I confirmed them. And you got people who are not even qualified to define you, and you're letting them define you. And they're writing who you are. And they haven't even went in Webster to see if they're right or not. That ought not be. What's coming out of your mouth? Rest to your feet all over the building. I told you last week, in order for the church to be great, you got to know what's in your hands. But the second part of that is, in order for the church to be great, you got to watch what's coming out of your mouth. You got to watch what's coming out of your mouth. And this is the thing. The Lord just gave me this right now. This is the thing. The Bible declares, every word you shall give an account for. Let me say it again. Every word you shall give an account for. God's going to ask you, why did you say that? And you're going to say, Lord, I didn't say that. And God's going to say, show it. You know, he was the first one that had video record and replay. You know, NFL won't one that got that started that. God got instant replay. He going to say, show it. And he going to let you see what you're saying. He's going to ask you, why did you say that? Why did that come out your mouth? And then he going to show where you didn't correct it and you didn't ask for forgiveness for it. I heard George Myers say 90% of the people in church who have spoken negatively haven't asked God for forgiveness for speaking negative. What's coming out of your mouth? What's coming out of your mouth? So, if the church, and I'm talking about the church at large, not just L.L.W.C, but the church at large. If the church at large is going to be great, we got to know what's in our hands. And we got to know what's coming out of our mouths. Those two components must be in place in order for God to use you the way he wants to use you. If he's not using you the way you want him to use you today, check your mouth. Check your conversation. It looks like every time God bless you, you're not satisfied. Every time God gives you, take you to another level, you complaining about the level. I got to a point that some things I don't even complain about no more. Because it's like if they weren't doing that, they wouldn't need me as pastor. I got a job because some of y'all act crazy. Let me get behind this desk. Let me get out of here. And y'all got a job because your pastor act crazy. You got to keep praying for him. So we both got jobs because all of us acting crazy. And perfection doesn't come till we get to heaven. Pastor, that's not scriptural. Let me give you the Bible verse. He said, I call pastors and apostles and teachers and evangelists, and I'm missing one, but whatever, for the perfecting. What perfecting mean? It means taking us from craziness to the next level. That's the Eaton definition. Perfecting, taking you from craziness to the next level. So we're all here for that. But I need to check what's coming out of my mouth. Because maybe the blessing is right there. But every time it come to the door, I say something and the door closes. And God said, what now? I can hear God throwing up his hand, Jesus, what now? Well, Father, they said something, but the blessing was there. I know, Daddy, but I know. Well, Jesus sent the Holy Ghost to convict them of the words because I'm trying to get this blessing to them. Yes, sir, Daddy. Holy Ghost, you heard the Father. Go convict them. Who been convicted this week? I don't want to mess with nobody, but who been matter of fact, you don't got to wait till this week. You've been in service you heard the message less than an hour, and you already been convicted. Well, who is God working on right now? The blessing is hovering. Thank you, Lord. I'm going to close on this. The blessing is hovering. There's a trap door. And the blessing will come through the trap door. But the trap door is operated by your words. And when you have positive words and the blessing is ready to fall, you say the positive words, the trap door opens and the blessing can come. But it looks like every time God drops the blessing, you say something and the trap door closes and it bounces back up. So you've been waiting for your financial blessing, but you can't stop talking broke. You've been waiting for your healing, but you can't stop talking sickness. You've been talking about we need this relationship to get better, but you can't stop talking negative about the relationship. So how is it supposed to get better? Speak those things that are not as though they were. I don't got no good husband. That's why you don't got one. I don't got no good spouse. That's why you don't got one. But you keep speaking the wrong thing. But speak what is not as though it were. He's being good. He's the best husband I ever had. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. But he ain't doing it. You ain't lying. You just speaking things into existence. She's the best wife I ever had. The only wife I'm going to have. She's supplying my every need. She ain't doing that. So what? Speak it into. My kids are doing excellent. They're the best kids. They're obeying me every day. I don't see it, Lord. Speak it into. Can I help you? All that negative you talking ain't helping. They ain't changed. See, you could talk junk if I want a daddy and a granddaddy. I got a 14-year-old. Help pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. She's about to turn 15. I'm having anxieties. Pray for me, please. Pray for me. Yeah, I'm Olivia. Yeah, pray for me. I'm having anxieties, y'all. Y'all pray for me. Jesus. You got to speak different stuff. So God can bring a change. Every head bow, every eye closed. Father God, in the name of Jesus. I gave it to him the way you gave it to me. And I declare the word will not come back void. It will accomplish what you called it to accomplish, Lord. If our words are not lining up with what's in our hands, help us to change our words. If we're surrounded by the wrong company, our posse need to change. Change our posse. If we're hearing the wrong stuff, remove all that and allow the right stuff to come in our ears. Because we want to go to the next level. And we can't go talking on the level we're talking now. Change our words. Forgive us now for every word we've spoken out of contact, out of order, against what you put in our lives and in our hands. Forgive us now and help us for this time forward to speak the right words. And even when we inappropriately and unintentionally speak the wrong word, Holy Spirit, convict us so we can repent right then and there and stay on the right path that you put us on. I thank you now. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Amen. Give God a praise right there.